Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Akil bin Muhammad Zaid and my student ID is 2023867558. I am from Faculty of Built Environment and my program is CFAP 220. Okay, for Geometric Research Innovation Competition for 2025, I will present my project which entitled Assessment of Water Salinity Effect on Mangrove Canopy Expansion in Pulau Toba. This project was supervised by my main supervisor, Ms. Ashnita binti Rahim, and my co-supervisor, Ms. Zurahan binti Muhammad. Okay, let's move to the next part. Okay, this is my poster for the grade 2025. First of all, we will start by looking at the abstract. Mangroves are critical coastal ecosystem that provides essential services such as shoreline protection, carbon sequestration, and habitat for biodiversity. However, they are highly sensitive to environmental stresses, especially changes in water salinity. This study investigates the effect of water salinity on mangrove canopy expansion in Pulau Toba by using high-resolution image, which is PLEDAS, and in-situ salinity data measurements. The analysis was conducted using few software such as Trimble Economics software, ArcGIS Pro, and IBM SPSS statistics, together with incorporating the Normalized Difference Salinity Index (NDSI) and Object-Based Image Analysis (OBIA) techniques. The mangrove canopy size were assessed for the years of 2021 and the years 2023. The findings reveal a moderate negative correlation between NDSI value and the canopy of mangrove size, with correlation coefficient of negative 0.475 on the year of 2021 and negative 0.538 for the year 2023. The corresponding coefficient of determination, which is R square value, were 0.226 in year 2021 and 0.290 for 2023. It indicates that water salinity account for approximately 22.6% for year 2021 and 29% for the year of 2023. This result demonstrates the impact of salinity on mangrove growth and highlight the potential of remote sensing technology for ecological monitoring and mangrove conservation in Pulau Toba. Okay, now we move to the background of study. In Pulau Toba, which are part of the Langkawi Archipelago, mangrove offer a broad array of goods and services to the local community and for fish nursery habitats, food resources, and hosts for flora and fauna. Despite their importance, mangroves are among the most threatened ecosystems due to the natural stresses like rising sea levels and increasing salinity. Thus, the information of water salinity is important in sustaining the tree health and productivity, which need to be determined precisely, was stated by the Ghazali in 2020. The impact of water salinity, which refers to the presence of high concentration of soluble salts, can affect the growth of the tree, as the salinity can reduce the photosynthesis rates, which will cause the situations such as seed germination, stunt seedling growth, and also reduce overall biomass in any tree species. Therefore, the water salinity is particularly important to be studied in regions like Pulau Toba, Malaysia, where mangrove contribute significantly to the local economy, biodiversity, and coastal protection. Okay, for problem statement, there is quite a lot problem statement for my research, but I only choose 3 out of all. The first one is limited research on water salinity impact. There is a lack of specific studies on how water salinity directly affect mangrove canopy expansion, especially in Pulau Toba. Second one is inadequate integration of remote sensing, whereas existing research often relies on local field data and overlooks the use of high-resolution satellite imagery for broader environmental analysis. And the last problem statement is lack of attention for mangrove degradation. This is because the issue of mangrove degradation, particularly in Pulau Toba, receive a little attention, despite changes in water flow that disrupt salinity levels, which is quite critical days after days. Okay, for aim, for this project is to determine the water salinity effect on mangrove canopy expansion in Pulau Toba by using LiDAR satellite image. And for objective, there is 3 objectives for my project, which the first one is to determine water salinity level in Pulau Toba using salinity index and field measurement. Then to measure, the second one is to measure the mangrove canopy expansion over time using object-based image analysis (OBIA) for year 2021 and 2023. And the last objective is to determine the correlation between water salinity effect and the mangrove canopy expansion for both year 2021 and 2023. For significance of study, there are 3 points that I chose to elaborate, which is the first one is to promote mangrove conservation. Why I said so? Because from this research or project, it helps the conservation of the mangrove by providing accurate information about how water salinity affects the mangrove growth. Fun fact, in Pulau Toba, there are a lot of species of mangrove, and one of the most important is there is endangered mangrove species, which its scientific name is Bergera heinesi. However, this research is not to give conservation for only this species, but it covers all type of species in the Pulau Toba. It's overall. Okay, the next significant of study is to support environmental monitoring, because in this project we use the high resolution of satellite image, which is LiDAR. It will offer a cost-effective and faster way to monitor the mangrove canopy changes. And the last significant of study is benefit to the local communities. As we all know, that this project or the finding from this project, it can support the current development and also guide for a better mangrove management for the people in the Pulau Toba, and from doing that, it will help to protect their coastal resources and community livelihoods for the future too. For methodology, this is the flowchart that I have done for this project. It consists of 4 phases, which is phase 1 is preparation, the second phase is data acquisition, the third phase is data processing, and the last phase is results. For the preparation, I had done a literature review for my studies, which is, for example, like what is mangrove, the mangrove and its ecological role, the mangrove growth rate for every year, and so on. Next, for the second phase is data acquisition, whereas I used the LiDAR image for the year of 2021 and 2023, which is, it consists of 2 images, panchromatic and multispectral, which is red, green, and blue. And for the ground truth, the data acquisition had been done by using field observation by using total dissolved solids instrument that we collect the water salinity data, and then move on to the phase 3, which is data processing. I had done the pen sharpening method to combine both panchromatic and multispectral image, and then I do some pre-processing such as image registration, subset, and then move on to the image segmentation, which I use the Econition software by applying the OBIA method, and then do extract features. After extract features, I classify the canopy objects, and then I measure the canopy. I export the raster data into a vector layer. Then I continue the process of measure the canopy size, which is each area, by using the ArcGIS Pro software. For the water salinity, I utilize the software, which is ArcGIS Pro. I use Econition software to run the formula of normalized difference salinity index, and then the result I validate it with the ground truth data of the water salinity that had been collected previously on the phase 2, and then after that I do a correlation of water salinity and the mangrove canopy changes. Okay, now let's move to the result and discussion part. For the first objective, I want to determine the effect of water salinity in 2021 and 2023 using NDSI method. So from here, we can see that I had managed to produce two different maps, which is the normalized difference salinity map for 2021 and 2023 in Pulau Toba. Okay, why I choose the NDSI method to detect the water salinity? Because based on my literature review, the previous researchers had compared few spectral index to detect the water salinity, and they had found out that NDSI is one of the best result to show the correlation of it. Okay, next for the classification of salinity ranges, the NSI value I had categorized it into five classes, which is starting from non-saline, slightly saline, moderate saline, strongly saline, and lastly is very strongly saline, which to assess the spatial distribution and intensity of the salinity levels. Okay, from the result of both maps, we can see that that is different for 2021 and 2023. Why? This is because Malaysia's seasonal cycle, which is it experienced two main monsoon season. Starting, the first one is southwest monsoon, which is from May to September, and the second one is northeast monsoon, which is November to March. You can see here that the 2021 image was captured in September month, which is during the drier southwest monsoon, while the 2023 image was taken uh, on February month, which is during the west northeast monsoon. So from here, I can justify that in September, the lower rainfall during the southwest monsoon lead to the highest salinity due to water stress. So you can see that a lot of red color here, which is very strongly saline. Why in February, the why in 2023, which is captured on 1 February, the northeast monsoon brings heavy rainfall. Thus, it reduces the salinity and promote better mangrove health and growth. That's why we can see the color is distributed well, ranging from non-saline to very strong saline. Okay, after I managed to producing the NDSI map for both here, out of 20 ground control points that have been taken the water samples, 18 location showed matching salinity class assignment with, between the field magic salinity values, which is in PPT, and the classification derived from NDSI. This show that the high overall classification accuracy of 90% indicate a strong agreement between remote sensing estimate and in situ data observation. The small discrepancy at 2 points may be due to spatial resolution limitation of the satellite image, the localized relative variation not captured at pixel level, or potential timing difference between field measurement and image acquisition. However, the high match rate suggests that NDSI is a reliable index for mapping water salinity in this Pulau Toba area and useful for spatial monitoring and management of saline condition. Okay, now let's move to the result of the second objective, which I want to measure the mangrove canopy expansion over time using OBM method for 2021 and 2023. From here, I use OBM method, which is I use multi-resolution simulation, and I play around the scale parameter, shape and compactness, whereas the value is I use from the previous studies based on my literature review. And then I had done the visual inspection for the compactness from the range 0.3 to the range 0.7, and finally I had managed to justify that the compactness of 0.7 is the best out of other choices. Okay, from here I also show the position of each samples tree that I chosen, which is the total is 20, and I had shown the canopy size changes for 2021 and 2023, and I also show here the segmentation that I had done for one of the samples I had chosen. And finally, I create the distribution of 3 sample point map in my study area. Okay, after I finish the OBIA simulation, I export the result into the vector layer and open it on the ArcGIS Pro software to measure the canopy by using area of the polygon. And the result can be seen from the table. For the final output of objective 3, I want to determine the correlation between water salinity and mangrove canopy expansion for year 2021 and 2023. I had utilized the software IBM SPSS statistic. Before choosing the appropriate correlation method, I performed an anomaly test using Shapiro-Wilk test because my sample size was below 50 for both 2021 and 2023, and this one variable had a p-value which is below 0.05 that indicates that my data was not normally distributed. Thus, since the assumption of normality test was violated, I had used the Spearman correlation, which is a non-parametric test suitable for non-normal data. So from the Spearman correlation analysis, I had yield the correlation coefficient of negative 0.475 in 2021 and negative 0.538 in 2023, indicate a moderate negative relationship between NDSI value and mangrove canopy size. The water salinity here I represent by using the NDSI value. Okay, the negative value of the correlation coefficient suggests that NDSI increase, which is indicate higher salinity, cause the canopy size of mangrove trees tend to decrease. In other words, there is an inverse relationship where higher water salinity is cause the mangrove canopy expansion to reduce. So the coefficient of determination R square value was 0.226 in year 2021 and 0.290 in 2023. Shows the meaning that 22.6% and 29% of the variation in canopy size can be statistically explained by change in NDSI value respectively. Okay, as a conclusion, the research shows that water salinity has a measurable impact on the mangrove canopy expansion, presented by a moderate negative correlation between NDSI values, which is represent water salinity value, and canopy size in both 2021 and 2023. So, from this research, it also shows the integration of satellite imagery with OBIA and NDSI technique prove effective for monitoring mangrove changes, especially canopy, offering a scalable and efficient method for future studies and conservation planning. Okay, lastly, for potential commercialization from the study or from this research, it offers a practical assessment for monitoring mangrove canopy, which can be adopted by agencies such as Malaysia Space Agency, MISA, Forest Restoration Institute Malaysia, FRIM, Langkawi Development Authority LADA, and lastly, Langkawi Research Centre UKM. Okay, that's all from me. Bye bye and Assalamualaikum.